A vibrant planet blessed by the light of the crystal. Amid azure seas, encompassing the westernmost of the 3 great continents, there lies a realm embraced by gods and forged by heroes. Her name, Eorzea. The annals of Eorzean history chart the rise of a succession of great civilizations, each one enjoying an age of peace, the astral eras. To date, all have proven ephemeral. In the year 1572 of the 6th and most recent astral era, the Northern Empire of Garlemald amassed a great army at the heart of Eorzea, seeking dominion over all. Rising in desperate resistance, the forces of the Eorzean alliance met their would-be conquerors in the field. Yet, even as the battle raged, the lesser moon, Dalamud, was plucked from the heavens through imperial machination. From its core emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who unleashed his fury upon the realm. The devastation brought Eorzea to its knees and the era to its end. 5 years have come and gone. The light of life still shines upon Eorzea. Man labors tirelessly to raise himself from the calamity's ruin. The realm is forever changed, a stranger to him once more. Yet heedless of what lies ahead, he shall press on. Spurred by the promise of peace and prosperity. Amid this period of great change, an adventurer arrives in Eorzea, one whose tale is yet unwritten. May he ever walk in the light of the crystal.
What's up, my friends, and welcome to the channel. This is Lemmy, by the way, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. What is this? This is not World of Warcraft. And well, you are right, this is not World of Warcraft. This is my the second love of my life in gaming, the second MMO that is pretty much my home. It's Final Fantasy XIV. I've been playing this game since the beginning, since 2.0, and it has a very special place in my heart. So I've done a couple of playthroughs of Final Fantasy XIV on different iteration of this channel, but they all got like sent to the ether. So today I hope to make this one the quintessential Final Fantasy XIV playthrough for my channel. This is a free trial playthrough. The reason why I'm going free trial for this playthrough is, first of all, this is pretty much a solo self-found playthrough. You can't trade, you can't use the market board or the auction house for my WoW people. You can't join a free company or a guild for my WoW people. You cannot initiate grouping. If someone that pays for the game invites you to a group, you can join, but you can't initiate it. You can only have 300,000 gil or gold, like the money total. You cannot have more than that. So it's very like solo oriented, which really intrigued me. I really want to see how hard or not hard it is for someone that actually knows the game to get through all that, because if I end up having issues, it will tell me that it's something that is really hard for a new player. But I can also see like the shortcomings that a new player could meet in the free trial, and that's something that I'm really interested in. So that's why I chose the free trial. We're gonna go all the way to Stormblood, to level 70, which is the end of the free trial. Of course, I might go back to this character if the free trial at some point gets expanded, but for now this is where it's gonna stop. But I will do everything. This is a fresh account, so I don't have mounts, I don't have money, I don't have glamour, I don't have anything. So this is really like, I can't fly, I can't do anything. So I have to walk everywhere until level 20. I can't fly until level 50. And probably not. It's probably until I get to unlocking flying in Heaven's Ward. I don't even know. But still, I can't fly until I get to the end of A Realm Reborn. And I want to see how solo friendly this game is. How long I can go without actually having to group up with other players. Because you have to remember that Final Fantasy XIV is an RPG before it being an MMO. So it's focused on the story before it's focused on anything else. You can now run every leveling dungeon and every patch dungeons that are available to the game with AI, with NPCs. I don't think you can run the side dungeons yet, but that we'll see once we get to Stormblood, where there were like actual side dungeons. I think there are some in Heaven's Ward too, like dungeons that you need to run in order to fly. So that, but for the first like 50 or so hours, we're good to go, because you can do all of A Realm Reborn, even the trials, without having to group up with other players. So I want to see how long I can go without actually having to interact with other players, because I really want this to be a solo, self-found playthrough. Of course, I'm not gonna wait until I can solo the dungeons, because that's just gonna be boring. I'll do the dungeons with the NPCs. That I love doing the dungeons in 14, especially the A Realm Reborn dungeons. In my opinion, they're some of the best. Some people don't agree with me, and that's fine. But in my opinion, the A Realm Reborn dungeons are some of the best dungeons out there. So I really love running them, and I don't have a problem running them with NPCs, so that's what we're gonna do. But for now, I'll try and explain everything that you need to know in order to start your character, to start your journey in Eorzea and have a good time. I'll start with character creation, but of course, please be aware that this playthrough will of course contain story spoilers, because I will go through the whole story, since it's pretty much the premise of Final Fantasy XIV. So if you don't want to be spoiled, just follow along, I guess. I'll try to make every like title of the videos I put out after this one very clear on where I'm at in the story, so you don't click on the video to see where I'm at and suddenly like get spoiled. I'll do my very best not for this not to happen, but just be aware that there will be story spoilers. So as you can see, I don't have character, so we're gonna make a new character. For now, I won't take a new appearance. I'll just go in and show you what you can be in Final Fantasy XIV. So those are the races. Remember that the races are only flavor in 14. You have no player power tied to your race. It's purely aesthetic. It's purely you play what you think looks cool. You play what you think is the best. And it's only flavor. It's RP. It's nothing more. So you have the humans or the Hure. That's the male. That's the female. You have the Elezen, which are the elves. Those are the males and females. You have the Lalafell or the Potators. Those are the evil ones. Just be aware that if you ever play a Lalafell, you're probably gonna get patted on the head a lot by other players. Alright? This is kind of a tradition in 14, so just keep that in mind. Mikotes are the cat boys and the cat girls, probably the most popular race in 14. I don't know if it's still a thing because of the bunny boys and bunny girls, but for a long time they were like the all-star of 14. Those are the Rogadines, the big boys and the big girls. I'm gonna be playing a female Rogadine for this playthrough that I already made. I'll go back and I'll get her once we're done here. This is the auras. The auras were introduced with Heaven's Ward, and you have the man and the male and the female. They're like the dragonkin. Males are super tall, females are super small. So that's kind of a funny thing. Of course, you have the two other races that you can't play in the free trials because they're tied to Shadowbringers. Those are the Rothgars. They are like your actual cat boys. The female Rothgars are coming in the game in Dawn Trail, the next expansion. You have the Vieras, so those are the bunny boys and the bunny girls. Bunny girls were introduced with Rothgar in Shadowbringers. The bunny boys were introduced in Endwalker, the current expansion. But in order to be either of these races, you have to have an actual account. They're not available in the free trial. So let's go back. Let's go new character, load appearance. Yes, this one. So that's my character. So you can change everything: height, muscle tone, bust size, face, skin, hairstyles. You can get more in the game as you go through the game, from dungeons, from raids, from other places that I'll show you eventually. But those are the starting hairstyles that you can have. Hair color, jaws, eyes shape, iris size, color, mouth, lip, blah blah. You can change pretty much, you can change a lot of stuff on your character. It's not the most thorough character creator, but you still can change a lot of stuff. So once you have chosen your character, you choose your date of birth, which is again purely flavor. They say it here. This has no effect on gameplay. It's purely RP flavor-ish, blah blah. Now you choose your divinity, your deity, if you will. Once you go through the game in Final Fantasy XIV, you will hear a lot about the 12 divinities of the world. So this again, now I'm glad that they finally have like written it on the screen. This again has no effect on gameplay. It's only flavor. It's RP, so you can choose whatever. You can read like their descriptions of every deity and what they stand for. Since I'm going to play a paladin, I'm going to choose Halone, which is the goddess of war, because, well, it fits. So now we get to the classes. If you come from WoW, Final Fantasy XIV doesn't have specs. So you still have your Holy Trinity of tank, healer, DPS, but if you choose a class, you are tied to the role that the class is. So for example, if you play a gladiator, you're going to be a tank. You can't be a DPS or anything else. You are a tank. If you play a pugilist, you are a melee DPS. You cannot be anything else. You are tied to your to the role that is assigned to your class. Now, the way Final Fantasy XIV works, you start with a class, and just so you know, there are other classes available in the game that are not available in the as starting classes. Those are called prestige classes that you unlock later on. I'm gonna talk about those at some point, but for now it would be too many informations, so I'm not gonna talk about them. Second of all, you need to consider, if you plan on playing with friends, you have to consider, now you can like data center hop and server hop, so it's not really a problem, but to make things easier, make sure you are on the same server as your friends. It's always going to be easier. And if you want to start playing at the same time with your friends, you have to take into considerations that classes start in different cities. Like Gladiator, Pugilist, they start in Ul'dah. Marauder start in Limsa. Lancer and Archer, they start in Gridania. Conjurers, they start in Gridania. Thaumaturge start in Ul'dah. And Arcanists start in Limsa Luminsa. So if you want to start and be with your friends at the start of the game, make sure you pick classes that start in the same city. If you have a character that starts in Gridania and another character that starts in Ul'dah, it's not that much of a problem. You're gonna be able to meet at some point by running to one another. But if you have a character that starts in Limsa Luminsa, you're on your own, because you have no means of going there until a certain point in the game. Okay, so second of all, at Final Fantasy XIV, the way the class works, at first you start as a gladiator or whatever the names that are here. At level 30, you get your soul stone, which makes you have your job. So gladiators, they become paladin, they are tanks, they become paladin. Pugilist are melee DPS, they become monks. And well, paladin is probably the easiest tank to play in the game. They have a lot of survivability. They have self-healing. They don't have a very complicated rotation. Everything is pretty self-explanatory as a paladin. So if you want to start as a tank, I would really suggest to start with the gladiator. The pugilist, like I said, they become monk. Monk are melee DPS, and they can be a bit tricky because you have to take into consideration your positioning, because some attacks are gonna be more effective on the flank, others from the back. So that's stuff you have to remember when you play this this job. So it's maybe a bit complicated for someone who never played an MMO, but it's still a fun class. I really love monks. It's one of my favorite classes in the game, but you need to take that into considerations. Marauders, they become warrior, and they are tanks. They have one of the coolest set of animations in the game. Contrary to the gladiators, the marauders are a bit like the demon hunters in WoW. They have a lot of self-healing from either attacking or being hit. So if you feel like playing a tank that is more out there than the paladin that is more like a defensive tank, the marauder is more of an offensive tank. So if you prefer that, the warrior is for you. It's one of my favorite class. I really love the warrior. I love how how sturdy and how aggressive they are. So if you want to be a bit more aggressive, you can go for the marauder / warrior. The lancer is a melee DPS, and they become dragoons. It's probably the most complicated melee DPS to play at the start of the game. They have a very like specific and convoluted rotation, and to be honest, it's probably one of the most boring class to play at first. Like from level 1 to level maybe 55, 56, you're pretty much going to be a bit like the paladin in classic WoW. Like you're gonna have like 1 or 2 abilities, and that's it. Your rotation is gonna be very small and just pretty much changing positions, and that's it. So, but they have the coolest armors in the game, in my opinion. The dragoons, they look the coolest. They're so good. I wish they were a bit more sturdy, and I wish they were tanks. Like I would have played a freaking lancer tank or a freaking dragoon tank all the way. But it is what it is. Archers, well, that's pretty much self-explanatory. You are a ranged DPS that uses bow and arrow. At level 30, they become bards. Bard is a support character. You have songs that buffs your party. You can have like attack up, defense up, and like cooldown reductions and stuff like that. So if you feel like being a support, a ranged support, the archer is the way to go. The bard is the way to go for you. It's not my favorite, to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of bards. I'm not the biggest fan of ranged altogether. But I know some people that really, really enjoy it. And if you want to be a support but not be a healer, that's the way to go. The Conjurer is the healer of the... They become White Mage, and they are the only healer you can play from 1 to 30. So if you want to start as a healer, you have to start with the Conjurer. You cannot be any other healers until level 30. So if you want to be healing from the get-go, Conjurer is the way to go. They are what the game calls a pure healer. So you are really about like burst healing, healing over time, huge AoE heals, good single target healing. That's what the Conjurer is pretty much all about. Thaumaturge is the magical range DPS. They become Black Mage. They are the big go boom class. If you want to have flashy animations and flashy spells, this is the class for you. But they mostly cannot move when they attack, so that's pretty much where the difficulty of the class comes in. You are a rock, so when you attack, you need to make sure you are at the right place at the right time to start attacking. You have very, very, very tight-knit rotations that are tied to timers that you need to keep up if you want to have maximum amounts of DPS output. So that's one thing to consider. But it's the big go boom like class. If you want to have flashy stuff, if you want to be like the caster in the game, the Thaumaturge / Black Mage is the way to go. And finally, this is the Arcanist. The Arcanist is the only class in the game that has a pet, but the pet isn't really, I'm gonna say, relevant anymore. It's there, but before, your pet used to attack. You used to have like a tank pet, a ranged pet, a melee pet, but now those are all gone, and they pretty much rework the whole thing. But you are a summoner. At level 30, you can become either a summoner or a scholar. Summoner is a ranged magical DPS that attacks with summons, and the scholar is the second healer in the game that you can get in A Realm Reborn. So at level 30, and the scholar is much more of a shield healer. So in my opinion, they work a bit better as an off healer, but they can be very, very effective as a main healer too. They have everything they need in order to be healers, main or whatever, but they are a shield healer, so they pretty much put shield on people. If you are a summoner, you're gonna have a carbuncle pet with you. If you are a scholar, you're gonna have a little fairy with you, which is your pet. I think they only have one now. They don't have two anymore, because they used to have two, but I think they only have one now. So if you want to be a healer with a fairy, Arcanist is the way to go, and then go scholar at level 30. I'm going to play a gladiator and become a paladin at level 30, because this is pretty much what I know. I love tanking in 14. It's what I found the most fun and what I enjoy playing the most. And since we can now play with bots, I can go full tank and have no problem with it, so that's super good. And remember that in Final Fantasy XIV, you can be everything on one character, so you don't need to have any alts. You can be every job, every crafting class, every gathering class on one character, which is fantastic. If every game would be like that, that would be amazing. But yeah, so I'm gonna be playing as a tank. I'm gonna start in Ul'dah, and we are gonna go in. There will probably be a queue, so I'm gonna choose this. You have to choose your world. I'm going on Coral because it's the world I know, and you can name your character. You have to put a forename and a surname. So I already decided, so I wouldn't spend three hours here. I'm gonna call her Kellyanndra Pureheart. It's a bit cheesy, but I don't care. I love it. So it fits for a paladin. So here we go. We're probably gonna go in a queue. But while the queue is there, I'm going to drink because I'm going to have to talk a lot. And I'm already parched from all of this tutorial. My god, I'm so happy. It's been a while since I played this game, and coming back to 14 is always like coming back to 14 after a break always feels so good. That's why I usually take a couple of months break here and there, because whenever I come back, it's like, you know, when you own like a summer house and you go back to your summer house once in a while, you're so happy to be there. It feels like home and blah blah. It's a bit how I feel with 14. It's like coming back to like a place where you know you're gonna relax and that it's fun. So this is it. So let's watch this cutscene. It's super good. The first time I saw that cutscene, I was so mesmerized. This is amazing.
Here. Here. Feel.
The level 50 artifact armor for Paladin is probably one of the proudest thing I've owned in 14, because back then it was a grind to get. Hey, hey you. The song is Twilight over Thanalan. It's such an amazing song. You alright, lass? We were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effect of the aether, I reckon. You'll get used to it. Don't worry. You there! Halt! What's this all about? Inspection! Man, search the carriage! I'm just an honest peddler, friend, so, don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, huh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. Sir, look, Sumnus. Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days, unless you can afford the fine. Huh, business as usual. Ugh! Ul'dah! Ul'dah! To arms! To arms! Seven hells! Consider this a warning. Now go, all of you! Phew! That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. Be careful around them brass blades. Bastards have the shirt off your back if they fancy it, like common bandits they are, only less honest. Thank God for sending some beastmen to the rescue, huh? Hey, seeing as we're still got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them youngins don't much care for conversation, see? Brent's the name and peddlin's me trade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. I knew it! Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? I'm gonna say to win glory. Glory, huh? Well, if you're willing to take on them tasks as other folks ain't, an adventurer such as yourself can win fame what coin can't buy. When you arrive in town, you'll want to report to the Adventurers Guild. You can find out everything you need to know about the adventuring business in there. Just remember, though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Is this your first trip to Ul'dah? No, it's not. But of course it ain't. Still might be, as this journey itinerant has a few new things to teach you about your destination. But of course, okay. Ul'dah's ruled by the Sultana in name, but most folks know the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monstrous cronies would happily get rid of her grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists. And the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Of course, the Lizard Men, that's the Amalja, couldn't care less about Ul'dah's politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers, need breeding profit, and though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. Ah, at long last, behold, Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalan, where folks turn sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises, a solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the 7th Umbral Era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
And here we part ways, lass. I'm off to the market to deliver me wares, and then it's on the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me, Prattle. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square. Oh, you have no idea, my dude.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Final Fantasy 14, yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy we're doing this. Or adventurer, over here. Sorry. Name's Wymon, and my business is knowing every bugger's else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some valuable advice by way of welcome to our city, or fair city, free of charge even? Just this one, like... Okay, so the Twitch is going to run an ad in about 30 seconds. So while the ad is playing, I'm just going to like rearrange my my UI. And yes, I play with a controller because I've always played 14 on the console, so I'm used to that. That's how I like to play. So yeah, so the ad is about to start in about 5 seconds. So I'm gonna start just rearranging the UI while the ad plays. So yes, you can rearrange your UI pretty much the way you want, which is great. I'm in 14 anyway, I'm a UI bitch. I like to have like the UI set up exactly the way I want. I've been so used to playing the game with that UI that I like to have my UI in a very specific way. I use very specific key bindings too. I'm gonna try and make everything not too bad for the OCD, because I know that when something is crooked, it can be like very annoying. So I'm gonna try and make it so it's not that bad. I'm gonna take this as a reference. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, not exactly the way I want it. Let's see. Where can I put it to make it work? That's not here for sure. Okay. It sucks because I tried to record this video like this afternoon, and like the UI was perfect. Like I really put it at the right place. Like everything was working super well, but for some reason it didn't work. Well, not for some reason, because I didn't freaking I didn't freaking open my mic. I didn't turn on my mic. So that's why it didn't work. Okay, that's not exactly the way I want it. Maybe I should do something here. Let's take this and put it a bit here. Take this and put it here. Just want to make sure that I have the coordinates properly. I don't understand. I hate it. I hate when I can't put my my HUD exactly the way I want it. My OCD hates it. But if I do this, and I do this, and do this, like this, how is it? It's still bad. Wait, okay. Let's see if I put this a bit on the side here. Put this on the side here. Put this on the side here. Put this on the side here. How does it look? It's still not right. Okay, I swear I won't spend like 3 hours doing this. I'll try and make it like work as fast as possible. Okay, that works. I'll just push those aside a bit and we should be fine. I'll just put these like a bit here just so we have all of the squares on screen. Oh my god. Don't worry, it bothers my OCD as much as yours, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Okay, so that's gonna work. Then I'm gonna just keybind everything so we don't have to do it afterwards. Hotbar 2. That's the only thing that's left. After that we start. I promise. There you go. Alright. Okay. Sprint goes here. All of this mumbo jumbo goes out of here, goes away. Here we go. Alright. We are ready to go. Let's speak to Wymond. Initiating quest. Non-player characters offering quests can be recognized by the exclamation mark above their heads. To bring up the quest window, speak with the NPC by first targeting him, then pressing the confirmation button. Once you've initiated a quest, a prompt will appear detailing its objectives and rewards. Press the accept button in the lower left to add the quest to your current list of current duties. I didn't read the quest. Whatever. This plains to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the quicksand and speak with Momodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path. Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventurer. Thank you. You have begun a quest. Use the duty list to help you complete your tasks. Upon accepting a quest, the current objective will appear under the quest title in the duty list on the right side of the screen. A maximum of 5 quests can be displayed at once. Okay. Selecting the title will open the quest in your journal, allowing you to review objectives and rewards. Thank you. Alright, let's go. Woo! The UI is still not perfect, but I'll live with it for now. Complete a quest by speaking to the NPC with a check mark displayed above his or her head. Completing quests will earn you a variety of rewards from item and guild to experience points. Alright. That's Momodi. Wow, hello there. Who might you be? Why? Not wow. Why? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Momodi and I own this fine establishment, if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you, that is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Ul'dah, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on, forever now. Then there's the Guardian Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry, and lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder it's scarce been 5 years since the lesser moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an 8th hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. 'Twas like the end of the world had come at last. But then things began to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that, but the fact is they don't. Nobody does. There is one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten, and so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register, neat as you can. Kilindria Pureheart. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Alright, Miss Pureheart. On behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 has my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a fourth chance to offend. You two, attend to this scum. No, please, mercy. Well, and that is a sorry sight, nor an uncommon one if I'm honest. Don't worry though, if you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing a lady muse on the many manhood of her acquaintances from time to time. Momodi likes to hear about boob stories. Any road, welcome to Ul'dah, Kilindra. Take a moment to catch your breath and I'll teach you a little about our fair city. And that's a wrap for this quest! This concludes the introductory game tutorial. Goddamn. You have taken the first step as an adventurer in the city of Ul'dah. Listen well to the wisdom of Momodi Modi, then go forth and discover the incredible adventures that awaits you. Important quests used to tell the story of Eorzea and her people are called main scenario quests, or MSQ by the way. These tasks are easily distinguishable from others by their unique icon. Quests using this icon indicates a task of or series of tasks are tied to new duties or features you have yet to unlock. Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform so as to help you get to know the place. First of all, I want you to visit the Aetheryte Plaza. To get there, head west from here till you reach Emerald Avenue, then look to the north. You should see a giant floating crystal called an Aetheryte. If it weren't for Aetherites, traveling around Eorzea would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. You ever attuned with an Aetherite before, Kilindra? If not, just lay your hands on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to the Gladiators Guild over at the Coliseum. Assuming that sword ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the steps of Thal. Goods from all over Eorzea and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armors, weapons, and anything else a fledgling adventurer like yourself might need. You might say that everything's for sale here in Ul'dah as long as you got the guild. Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought, Kilindra. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interests. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Ciceroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the market once he's read it. In short, then, visit the Aetheryte Plaza, then the Gladiator Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Oh, before you go, a word of advice. While there's more than a few unsavory characters out there who'll try to take advantage of you, there are also some honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. A lot of folks are lured to this city by the promise of wealth and power. What many of them fail to realize is that instead of chasing after a guild, the moment they get here, they ought to be making friends. Let it be known that you're willing to give as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smiths over yonder. Those lads always have some good advice for an up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it for me. It's past time you got going, and oh, and let me know when you've finished, will ya? That way I won't spend my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a guild to your name. Alright, so the smith, the character she was talking about, is pretty much a tutorial on how to play your role. So if you've never played Final Fantasy XIV or an MMO, I really suggest you do that. And even if you did, I suggest you do that anyway, because you get a pretty cool set of armor and a very useful ring. So yeah, I really suggest you do it. Alright, so Sanctuary. A crescent moon icon will appear to the right of your experience bar whenever you enter a sanctuary. While in this special area, you will accrue a rested bonus. The bonus will continue to grow even if you are offline. All experience earned through battle crafting and gathering will, under this, the benefit of the rested bonus will be increased by 50%. Your current rested bonus is displayed on top of your experience bar. The dark orange bar shows how much more experience can be earned before the bonus fades. If the bar is blue, it indicates your bonus will carry over to the next level. Inns in cities, as well as various outposts and settlements, are classified as sanctuaries. To maximize your experience earning potential, make it a habit to always log out in one of these areas. Okay, the main menu, blah blah, we all know that. Navigation, select the map from under travel in the main menu and pressing X on the controller will bring up the area map, blah blah, right? Yeah, we all know that. Okay. Alright, here we go. So we're gonna go to the Aetherite at first, since it's the closest objective we have to do. Ul'dah is pretty much like around, it's like around a crescent, if you will. So it's not that hard to navigate. In my opinion, the hardest city to navigate in is Limsalaminsa. This city is freaking hell. I always get lost, even after 10 years. Hail, adventurer. Might you have come at the behest of Miss Momodi of the Quicksand? Excellent, which brings us to the matter of the attunement fee. That will be 100,000 gil, if you please, madam. Haha, apologies, but I do so relish the opportunity to make that jest. The look on your face was absolutely priceless. But the fact that you were so easily deceived suggests to me that you are unfamiliar with the use of the Aetherites. Allow me to explain. These crystalline agglomerations tap into ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Perchance you have heard of return and teleport. While these transportation spells make direct use of the Aetherite and their connections to the flow of ether. Given that there is an Aetherite in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer with a mind to explore this realm will wish to seek out and attune herself to each and every one. But even if you have no intentions of wandering beyond the Sultanate's border, it would be prudent for you to attune yourself to any Aetherite you encounter from now on. I pray you found that informative. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherite and transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. That's okay, buddy. Return learned. Thank you. You attuned with the Aetherite. You are now able to use the return spell. The return spell can be used to instantly travel back to the Aetherite set as your home point. Casting the spell does not require an EMP and can be accessed by selecting return under travel from the main menu. The sole limitation of the spell is that it can only be cast once every 15 minutes Earth time. Only one home point may be set at any time. To make an Aetherite your new home point target and select the crystal to bring up the Aetherite menu. This used to be a 1 hour cooldown thing. It's now 15 minutes. That's new. Like, I didn't even know that. that's new. Like that's not been like that for a long time. I remember, I think it was 30 minutes, but 15 now. It used to be at least an hour. So that's crazy. So now we're going to the Gladiators Guild in the Coliseum. Every base game, class, and gathering, crafting, whatever, has a guild in the game. And that's one thing I've always loved. And they didn't really pursue that after Heaven's Ward. And it's kind of sad, to be honest. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, friend. Tell me, are you new to the thrills of Mortal Kombat? Well, whether you are or not, you are new to us. If you would take your place in these hollowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like as not far worst. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there is no other way if you mean to take the Blood Sands one day. And why wouldn't you? The Coliseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the syndicate? Ah, there is not an Ul'dah alive who isn't inspired by the rise of the self-made man. And there is no truer embodiment of this than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, the guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight and triumph amidst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy, and if your soul stirs, join us. Lulutsu wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Gladiators Guild. What will it be? Will you rise above the masses and inscribe your name in legends? Or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? I will join the guild. A decision you shan't regret. One moment. Make way for Keliandra Pureheart. Fresh meat coming through. Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Mila. Seek her out and obtain her approval. Mila, long time no see. I heard Lulutsu, so your Keliandra Pureheart is a good strong name. On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Mila, Guildmaster here. Or Mila? Is it Mila? Might be Mila. So you wish to study our arts. I presume you have your reason for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it's easiest to learn. A sword is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade well is anything but simple. For every Coliseum champions to emerge from our rank, there have been countless disappointments who failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Keliandra, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live by the sword, and if it be your fate, die by it? Yes. Then welcome, Gladiator, to your new home. Let's not waste time, shall we? I would gauge your aptitude for the sword. Just outside the gates of Ul'dah, you'll find plenty of marmots, hornets, and shrews. Slay 3 of each and return here when finished. A simple task, but essential to your training nonetheless. Now go. Okay. Now we have to go to the Sapphire Exchange. Let's use the sprint spell. Sprint is on a cooldown. On a 1 minute cooldown, it lasts for about 20 seconds. So it's been like that for a long time. Before we used to have TPs, which were like technic points or whatever, and sprinting would take all of your TPs away. And at some point they took away the TPs, and now it's on a cooldown. And the TPs were a freaking hell for warriors, because you couldn't sprint. You needed your TPs for everything as a warrior, so you could never run, which was pretty annoying for obvious reasons. Like everybody else could, but if you were in a dungeon and people started like running, sprinting, you could not, because you had to keep your TPs in order to be able to survive and actually do your job properly. Alright, last step before we can finally head out and do a bit of other stuff than just talking to people. And you are? Oh, a newly come adventurer, but of course. Yes, I am Ciceroga. What can I do for you? Ah, you would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace. Very wise. As for my fee. What? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Ul'dah for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact you offer nothing is laughable. Oh, Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Ul'dah's market have ever served as both the literal and figurative center of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes leads to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilebrand and Aldonard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ul'dah as their base of operation, to see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchant and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided as he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer. A deadlier sword, perhaps? A shinier trinket? Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north you will find merchant peddling armors and accessories, curative and crafting materials. And to the south you will find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of a moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. This is all the complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi. Now off with you. Alright. Okay, let's talk to Momodi. How was your tour of the city, Kiliandra? Get lost, did you? Hi, well, Ul'dah's a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go exploring, explore like you've got a purpose, huh? Alright then. All that stuff is for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. Thank you. Finally, we can leave. Level up. Thank you. So whenever they have like a red exclamation point over their head like that, it means that you are not higher level enough to proceed with the quest. So it's off to the grinding for us. We're level 3. This quest is level 5. I don't need to look it up. I just know. This quest is level 5. So we're gonna go out. Oh shit, that's not the right place. I'm not going the right way. So we're gonna go outside and finally be able to fight some stuff. Finally. So that's what we're gonna do right now. If you play WoW and you've never played Final Fantasy XIV, you will come to the conclusion that the combat is... hey, hello Misty, how are you? You will come to the conclusion that the combat is way slower. I think the GCD is like a second slower than WoW. So the combat is really slower than it is in World of Warcraft. And that's something I think every WoW player has said when they came to 14 at some point. So, alright. Combat is tab target, but it's like semi-tab target. You have to actually like... It's really like similar to WoW. You target your enemy, you choose your ability. I play on a controller, so... I have to choose with that. So you come here and you have your opener, boom, and it's starting. Just choose the other one. That's it. There you go. That's how it. That's combat in 14. Positioning for some classes is very important. I'm just a puny tank, so my only worry is that the party is not getting hit. But other than that, like a lot of classes, a lot of melee DPS have positioning to worry about. Some hits are gonna be better from the flanks, other are gonna be better from the back, other from the front, and it's always written on your tooltips. So if you want to know, you just have to hover over your abilities, and it's always going to be written like, okay, so this has like a bonus from the flank, or this has a bonus from the side. This character is brand new. I'm like level 3. I just started this character, but if you mean what level I am on my main character, I have almost every class is at max level. I've been playing this game way too much. I think my Steam chart says I played like 1,000 something hours on Steam, and I played on PlayStation way before that, so I played way too many hours of this game. I have like 1,000 hours on PlayStation and like 1,000 hours on Steam. In total, I have like 11 something hours in 14. 11,000 something hours. I played way too much. Where am I going? Yeah, I'm right. I wasn't even at the right place. Yeah. Freaking 10 years in the making, and I can't even freaking know where I'm going. Oh my god. Alright, let's sprint a bit. Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV has been a big part of my life since it released. I have both some of the best and some of the worst memories of playing an MMO in this game. We will get to it at some point, and I'm not gonna spoil it for now, but there is a dungeon in the game. Back in the base game, it was like a late game dungeon, and I went into that dungeon, and it was so terrible that I had a panic attack at the middle of the dungeon and got kicked for it. Oh my god. But I do have some of the best memories. I mean, some of the achievements I got in this game were some of the proudest moments I've had in any games. I pretty much... When this game came out, I was not actively playing WoW. I was not actively playing any MMOs, to be honest, and I hadn't played an MMO in a while, so I was kind of rusted. And like I said, this game is slower than WoW. It's way more... Like, Final Fantasy XIV is an RPG before it is an MMO. A lot is like story is at the forefront, and everything else is secondary. So I wasn't used to that at all. Dungeons are related to the story and are mandatory in Final Fantasy XIV. You don't have a choice. If you want to proceed with the main story, you have to run the dungeons. But now, since a couple of months ago, you can run every leveling dungeons and every story dungeons with NPCs. So that's one of the coolest thing ever. They actually were the first one to put NPCs in dungeons, and WoW pretty much followed up from that. But yeah, you can do every single dungeon with NPCs, and it's so good. Like I can play a tank and be like a tank forever in 14 and have no issues. The only things that you have to do with other players is what they call trials. Trials is a bit like a boss rush, if you will. It's like you against a boss, against one boss that has like a lot of HP, and it's usually 8 players, and it's like a lot of mechanics, and you have to like work together in order to kill the boss. Those are not possible to do solo or like with other AI still, but they are working on it. But yeah, it's an 8-player instance. So usually what I do is I level my tank through the main story, but I always keep a DPS, because in Final Fantasy XIV you can be every class on one character. So you can be everything. So if you go here and you look at your character sheet, it's been a while. Character, no. What the hell, logs? My god, I look like an idiot. It's been so long. Where is it? No. 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 Wait a minute. It's in logs, right? No hunting horn? Nah. Dude, I don't even remember. Where is it? 11 years in the making, man. It's nah, I need to find it. That has no freaking purpose. I need to find that thing. God dang. Journal? No. My god. Okay, now I'm sweating. Where is it? Portraits, no currency, no character. Is it in character? Yes, it is. I'm an idiot. So there you go. You can be everything. Here you have all of your levels for your classes. So you can be everything, including crafting and gathering. They're all here. And in this game, hey Rainy, how are you? How's it going? Everybody's here. Everybody's here tonight. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, Roxy is Rainy, by the way. Yes. I remembered. I actually checked before stream just in case. I looked at the message you sent me and I was like, what was that name again? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm playing 14 tonight. It's a little nice change of pace. It's been a while since I've logged on 14, and it's such like I said at the beginning of the stream, it's a bit like having like a summer house and going there a couple of times a year. Coming back to 14 after a break, it's a bit like that for me. I feel like I'm coming home, and like I said earlier, I have over 11,000 hours in this game, so it's always a fun time just to come back here. And I used to have a home in this game. I used to have a house, and I recently let it go because in order to keep your house in 14, you have to enter your house once every 45 days. So basically, you need to be subscribed all the time. If you're not subscribed, they're going to destroy your house. So I had to let it go in order to be able to play WoW on stream. So I let it go about maybe 2 or 3 months ago. But yeah, I had a pretty cool house, and I can show you the housing district if you want. But that's probably one of the worst thing in this game. It's one of the best and one of the worst game. It's a curse, cause she doesn't say anything really important. Thank you. All right. Cause like I said, you get a neighborhood. Will you? Thank you. You get a neighborhood, but that means that plots are limited, like very limited, and you need to be subscribed all the time. If you stop logging in for 45 days, you lose your house and everything that's in it, and that there's no workaround. And now, in order to get a house, you need to win it through a lottery. You need to win the plot through a lottery, and if you don't, well, you just don't get the house, which is absolute garbo. But I'm gonna show you. I used to live in the district right here, so I'm gonna show you what it looks like. It looks more complicated than it is, to be very honest with you. Like I could take you all in like an afternoon of 14, and you'd probably like know your way around, especially since you play WoW. It's pretty much it's very similar, but for one thing, it is a little less complicated. Like dungeons in 14 are super straightforward. Like you have one path, you have three bosses, and that's it. And well, it's because you didn't know the little old me. I know this game like I would have, like if I made it. And you can ask Maeve. I know this game so well that I can actually tell you what the bosses and what they're going to do before they happen. So this is like a proper housing district. You come here, you have people, they all have different houses. They all have decorations. You can have a garden, and there is like a whole you can have like I'm still a mentor, by the way. you can have like there's like a proper gardening website, like an FFXIV gardening website, where you can like crossbreed your crops and get other crops, and you can have like a stable for your mounts. And so like the housing system is insanely good. But maybe it's my girlfriend, by the way. And but it's also a curse, because you have to win your house. Like I said, you have to pay for it every month. You have to stay subbed in order to keep your house. But like the idea was super good when they had like 100,000 concurrent players. Now they have like 18 million. So everybody wants a house. There are different housing I'm gonna say districts. You have like a housing district in every major place in the game, but they all have limited plots, and it's still not enough to compensate for all of the players that want houses. And it sucks. Like, it actually sucks. I hate it. I hate how they did it. I hate the fact that I actually had to let my house go that I paid over 5 million gold for, and I had to just let it go. I had like a proper I had like crafting tables in there. I had like a stable, a garden. I had so many different things, and I had to let it all go, and I'm still a bit salty about it, not gonna lie. But I did it for the purpose of streaming. I wanted to be able to sub to WoW for a year. So I couldn't stay sub to 14 and WoW at the same time, like all year long. It's one of the worst thing. Seriously, I hate it. I hate it so much. And like I said in the beginning, in Final Fantasy XIV, you don't have like specs in WoW. So when you choose your class, you have to make sure that it's the role you want to play, because you cannot change your role. If you choose a class that is a healer, you're gonna be a healer. If you choose a class as a tank, you're gonna be a tank. You can change classes. You can have every classes in the game on one character. So that's, at least there's that. But you're stuck with your the class you choose for at least 10 levels. So, and you're not gonna be, well, quote-unquote, forced into going into a dungeon before level 15 in the story. Very important. There are two things to consider in 14. There is your character level and the story level, because you're gonna level faster than the story, especially now. So, around level 16 to 17 in the story, that's when you have to run your first dungeon. But, so by the time you get to a dungeon, you're gonna have the choice to be like, okay, I don't like this role, I don't really want to be a healer, so I'm gonna change. You go to one of the guild, you enroll in the guild, you change your class, and boom. And the changing your class in 14 is as easy as just changing your main weapon. When you unlock a new class, they're going to give you the weapon that you use, because that's the other thing in 14. When you're like a paladin, you use sword and shield. You cannot be a paladin with like a two-handed sword. If you're a paladin, you have sword and shield. If you're a warrior, you have a two-handed axe. If you are a monk, you have fist weapons. If you are a conjurer, you have a staff. You cannot have another weapon than the one that is assigned to your class. So, but yeah, you come here. On your character sheet or your armory chest, you change your weapon, bim bam, it's done. That's as easy as that. And you can't even do it from your inventory. There are so many things I haven't adjusted yet, god dang. Well, you making videos look very easy. I'll retort back at you with that. I look at your videos and they're so well made, super well edited, and god dang, it looks so easy to do. But when I do it, it's not as easy. So yeah, so anyway, I really love it. It's a fun game. It's a fun game to play with friends. Final Fantasy XIV, because the only thing that is a bit of a bummer is if you want to play with friends. Like Final Fantasy XIV Dungeons is a 4-player thing. You have 4-player dungeons, and you have well, you used to have 8-player dungeons, but they're not a thing anymore. So so dungeons are 4 players, because you don't have to have a third DPS, because healers are expected to DPS in between heals. But if you have but if you want to play with the NPCs, you cannot be like 2 players and 2 NPCs. It's either you play alone with 3 NPCs or you play with 4 real players. So that's the only thing that is a bit of a bummer. But if you have a healer and a tank, and you just get DPSs as like randoms, you're pretty much good, because healers and tanks in 14 are the ones that like are the ones that control the dungeons. Alright, no problemo. Momodi of the Quicksand wants to introduce you to a certain someone at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. Well, youngling, how are you finding our fine Ul'dah then? Get your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Sanaland, that's another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and you. Name of Papa Sean. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. Papa Sean? Oh my god, it's true! The dispatch yard over in central Townland. Just head out the door across the hall and you'll see the gates of Nald staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it for long. There's danger beyond the wall though. More than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack you if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. Yeah, thank you. But it's a fantastic game. It's really, seriously, I have very little bad things to say about Final Fantasy XIV, and I put the emphasis on that. I have very little bad things to say. It's not a perfect game. There are things that grind my gear about this game that makes me want to throw my controller away, because I think those are such bad decisions, but it is what it is. In the grand scheme of things, the game is better, has more like upsides than downsides, but there are like, I'm gonna, like, as an example, when you go to high level crafting, all right, like when you get to the max level right now in 14 is level 90. When you get to like 90, like level 90 crafting, and you want to craft yourself a freaking pair of shoes, all right, like level 1 like transmog shoes. You want to craft yourself a pair of shoes, you need to have like super rare mats that you can get only from treasure maps, which we will get to at some point. And then you have to pentameld your gear, which means if I don't know if you're familiar with Final Fantasy XIV, I mean with Final Fantasy in general, but you can have things that are called materias, and materias pretty much enhances the stats of your equipment. So at higher level you get gear that have slots where you can put materials in to enhance your abilities. And in Final Fantasy XIV you actually have crafting gear, gathering gear, and battle gear. So in order to craft yourself a freaking pair of shoes that is level 1 but that you can only craft at level 90, you have to put materials in your gear, and you have to go through a process called pentamelding, which is putting materials in your gear beyond the amount of slots that you have. So in order to do that, you have to have a materia, and you have like 5% chance of it actually attaching to your gear, and materials are expensive, alright? So you have to spend a crap ton of money to put materials in your gear to be able to craft yourself a pair of level 1 shoes. It makes me want to throw my things away. Alright? It really does. I hate it. I hate that thing. It's so freaking annoying. I don't understand why they decided to do that. Oh my god. First Sword Mila wishes to teach you the fundamentals of the gladiatorial arts. Ah, Kaliandra, I take it you and your sword have become better acquainted. Yeah. Then I will now instruct you on another fundamental aspect of what it means to be a gladiator. Commanding an opponent's attention. As a gladiator, we are trained to engage enemy at close range, weathering their attacks as we deliver our own. However, there are times when we must do battle alongside allies whose talents are not the same as our own. In such situations, your role is not to slay the enemy in front of you, but rather to defend the man beside you. She's explaining to me what a tank is. Great. We do this by eliciting the enmity of our opponents through attacks and techniques designed to incite their hatred. You must learn to draw the enemy's attention to yourself and to trust in your stout constitution to endure. In so doing, you protect your weaker comrades who would otherwise perish. I'll do both. I won't have a choice. It's either that or I'm gonna have to farm dungeons because I can't go with only like quest rewards. At some point I'll fall behind. So I'll have to craft my own stuff, but I'm probably not gonna go like super insane on on it for now. I'll probably just take like armor smith, blacksmithing, and like maybe leatherworking and tailoring to make sure I can craft everything I need. But yeah, I'm gonna have to at some point get everything up if I want to be self-sufficient, because I can't use the market board, and I can't trade, and I can't buy anything. So we're gonna have to do that. To help you better understand this, there is a task I would have you perform. It just so happened that nobody of the Quicksand have requested our assistance. A gang of Luminson marauders has paraded into town and begun harassing people outside her establishment. Men like these prey on the weak, but will turn tail and flee at the first sign of defiance. You need not resort to violence. It will suffice to show them that you are not afraid of them and will not tolerate their behavior. Seek out the Luminsian and make your presence known by bellowing, "Face me, marauder." In this way, you will protect the people of Ul'dah as you would your allies in battle. So that's an emote quest. They show you how to use emotes. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's so that's one of the things that really irritates me. There are other things, like the raiding scene in 14 is probably more toxic than WoW. Because in Final Fantasy you have 3 different sort of raiding, a bit like in WoW, but not in the same way. In 14 you have your alliance raids. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But to be fair, at level 15 now you unlock glamoring, so that's gonna save me. I'll be able to actually get some stuff that is not that bad. If anything, I'll just wear what I'm wearing now. It's okay, like it doesn't look bad. But yeah, that's good. You look like crap at first. But yeah, so you have your alliance raids, which is the most I'm gonna say the most bare bone way of raiding. Alliance raids are 24-player raids, and it's the probably like the most common raiding. It's like LFR, if you will. Everybody can do alliance raids. It's made for people that are not willing to raid like high level, and it's usually not that hard. You know your friend here is a 12 damn cheat. Think he can change his mood cause we foreigners, but he'll get his own back. Mark my word, goddamn dude. Really? Okay. So yeah, you have your alliance raid, 24-player raids. You have your normal raids. Normal raids are 8-player raids. Those can be done on the normal difficulty or the savage difficulty. Savage difficulty is a bit like heroics in WoW. They're a bit tougher, and they land better rewards. But this is one boss. Usually it's one boss, 8 players, a bit like Trials but harder. And then you have the ultimate rating, which is the toughest. It's like Mythic plus 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 plus. It's the hardest way of raiding. Are we in a okay. Bugger off, can't you see I'm having a civilized conversation with this puxy horse son? Alright, so, is it done? Is the ad over? Yeah, I asked, I set up my stream for the ads to be a bit less long every time, because we were in a very story heavy game. So the ads are gonna be a bit less long in length. All right. So yeah, so you have your ultimate. Ultimate is usually like the quintessential of raiding. It's super hard. It gives like super awesome weapons and stuff. And this is probably one of the most toxic place you can be ever. Is that done? Oh, inside the quicksand. True. Okay. but it is so I do not. Yeah, FF music is the best. It's not. Nobody can argue that FF music is not the best. Masayoshi Soken is a goddamn genius. Just who the hell do you think you're speaking to, maggot? I'm Farmul, the Driven, and me bloody marauders been raving so long mothers scare their children with tales about us. Don't believe me words, then I'll let my axe do the talking. Alright. Oh, this is lively even for the quicksand. You two going to put on a show for us? What's this? Another goddamn fool. Show some respect when you talk to. Farmul the Driven, leader of a troop of bloody mummers or some such. Aye, I heard of you this for the first time. Your voice carries quite well. Then, unless you want me to split your skull with me axe, ye better. He has a nice sword. That sword, it couldn't be frenzy, but only the sword of Null would bloody hells. It's you! You know I've never been one to stand back and watch. Mind if I join the fun? Begging your pardon, sir. Why do they always do that? Looks like it's just you and me. Standing up to that Laminsian was quite brave of you and quite foolish. I think I like you, Gladiator. Name's Ul'dah, and I'd buy you a drink, but I'm afraid I just spent the last of my coin. I used to be a young gladiator like you back then. But that hardly concerns you. These days I'm just an explorer of the unexplored, a seeker of as yet unknown experiences. Like the beautiful stranger keeping my bed warm right now. Gods, I've missed this city. This wonderful desert jewel of debauchery and sin. Now, if you'll excuse me. See ya. Okay. Speak with Mamadi. Mamadi. We love Mamadi. I swear, if I hadn't seen all this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Listen, Killiandra, do me a favor and don't tell Mila about meeting all this, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Why? Well, let's just say some folks ain't good for one another. Okay. So, again, in 14 you have, up until level 70, you have your main story quest, or MSQ, and your class quests. Every 5 levels or so, you have a class quest that is going to either give you, like, gear, or some skills are locked behind those quests. So it's important to always do your class quests when they're up, because some of the most important skills are locked behind these quests, and some of the gear upgrades you really need are also locked behind those quests. I hate them. I know they're not fun. Most of the quests are extremely annoying, but they have to be done, and it is what it is. You can't bypass them, or else you're gonna suffer from it and you won't be able to progress. Okay, I've already heard of your exploits at the quicksand, Killiandra. You did well to send those marauders packing. I wish I could say we've heard the last of them. Alas, we've received reports of axe-wielding raiders assaulting merchants traveling through Scorpion crossings. It seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Killiandra. Head to Western Thailand and see that Farmul the Driven and all those who have shared in his crimes never trouble the people of Ul'dah again. Okay. We'll go do that. Yeah, I didn't put music in the background tonight because Final Fantasy XIV is just music is enough to be as a background music. It's so good. And this man, Masayoshi Soken, the guy that made the music for Shadowbringers, the expansion that released before the one that we're in right now, actually wrote the whole soundtrack while in the hospital fighting cancer. And he actually beat cancer, but he wrote the whole freaking soundtrack, which is one of the better soundtrack in the game right now. He wrote that whole thing while being bedridden in the hospital, and the only person that knew that he was in the hospital sick was the director of the game, Naoki Yoshida, or Yoshipi. He was the only person that knew he was sick in the whole team, because Soken didn't want him to tell the people that he was sick, because he didn't want them to treat him differently. That every time I hear this goddamn story, I'm like, wow, okay, this man is wow. Alright, they tore me from my saddle and took everything I own. Bring my goods back to me, I beg of you. Yeah, alright, can do that. Hey, buddy. See ya. It is. It's insane. So in 14, another very important thing to consider is that when you see that little cone in front of you, that means that you're gonna get attacked. If you are still in the cone when it disappears, even if you got out after, you're still gonna get hit. You have to get out of the cone before it disappears, or else you're gonna get hit no matter what. Alright. Whoa! Okay, no problemo. Total Eclipse already? No, it's not. It's not going there. It's going here. Woo! Yo. They tore. Oh, okay. Well, I got your stuff, my dude. There you go. 12, bless you, adventurer. If it weren't for good women like you, I'd never leave home. Okay. Okay, so that's the gladiator quest. So we're gonna be able to continue the main story quest now, since we're done with the class quest. My UI is driving me insane. Not a lot. I recovered some goods that were stolen from a little merchant, and that's pretty much it. And I also was telling the people about stuff that grind my gear in 14, and it's the reason why I don't consider it a perfect game, which it's not. I mean, I don't think there are any games that are perfect anyways, but Final Fantasy XIV has stuff that makes me want to throw my controller away, because those decisions are just stupid. Good, it is finished, and with that, this stage of your training is complete. This time your enemies will ill-behaved ruffians, but who knows what manner of opponent you will face in the future. Regardless, I have faith that you will do well. Master your sword and you shall master yourself. Now then, there will be work for you in the days to come. Return to your training, Killiandro will speak again. She's giving me a sword, and I'm gonna take the cuirass. Thank you. Untradeable items. Everything is untradeable for me. That's not anything different. Alright, inventory. No, it's armory chest. Armory chest, bastard sword, equip, and this. Woo, yo. Look at that armor. The first armor they give you is probably the coolest looking one until you get to like high level, and then you have to separate from that armor and look like an idiot for a long time. So thank God for glamoring at level 15. Glamoring is what they call transmogging in 14, and you can unlock it at level 15. Before you had to wait until you were level 50 in order to be able to transmog your gear, so you looked like an idiot for 50 levels, because the leveling gear was absolutely ugly looking. That was not even real how bad it looked. So now you can actually, now it's 15, but it was at first you had to wait until you finished the actual main story before you could transmog your gear. You had to beat the final boss in order to be able to do that. But now it's 15, and it's in Ul'dah. That's the other reason why I started as a paladin, because you start in Ul'dah, and it's in are you serious? Hey, I haven't played in a long time, huh? And you can see it here. It's in Horizon. God dang it, we don't go there enough in the game. I couldn't even remember. Yep. Oh yeah, that was horrible. Horrible. I looked like a dancing raisin for so long with my first Dragoon. That was bad. That was really bad. Thank you. Oh yeah, I looked like a dancing raisin. That was really, really, really bad. But now, well, I can't, because you can't buy stuff from. I can't buy from the auction house on this account. But now you can buy very cheap transmogs on the auction house and look decent very, very early on. Well, you certainly look the part and an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi advised me to expect, huh? I am Papa Sean, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12 know there have been plenty of both these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Papa Sean. Yet now, true Uldans work together, down all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruins. By the sweat of our brow and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Ul'dah to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railway which runs through the dispatch yard, too, were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated area beyond our lines of supplies remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Ul'dah needs to aid you and your brethren, friends. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited to one of your ability. Alright, that's Disciple of War, all class, and okay. Thank you. Well, it's not looking too bad. Gonna give me another sword? It's the same sword. I'm gonna take the coin, man. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. It just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area, a dispatch to the dispatch yard, as it were. They have long been away from the shade and feather beds of the city. The hot days and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out there. It isn't much, but go and give them these Twilight pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. What? Is there? Oh, yes, 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 there are. And they are very bad at giving them to us. Like trinkets and WoW actually have abilities on them that you sometimes you can use. Oh, you mean like accessories in as in like transmogs, or accessories as in gear slots? Help, madame. I'm going to have to ask you to put the pretzel on the ground and place your hands above your head. Yes, you have trinkets for you have accessories for stats. And like I said, you can have trinkets and some trinkets have like passive abilities and some have active abilities and some have both, depending on what it is. State your name and business, blah blah. There you go. I'm terribly sorry for that. Yeah, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe so long as I stand watch. Please give Papa Sean my thanks and tell him that I only wish I could repay the favor. I deliver pretzels. I deliver pretzels. I'm a warrior of light and I deliver pretzels. And one thing that is absolutely nice in Final Fantasy XIV is, as long as you are not in combat, you cannot die of fall damage. You're always going to get to 1 HP if you fall. If you're in combat, you're gonna die. But if you're not in combat, you're going to be okay. Western front clear. Eastern front clear. For me, from Papa Sean, a Twilight pretzel, my favorite. How did he know? Can't fight on an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't fight on any stomach. I suppose you could say I have no stomach for fighting. Well, at least you're honest. Indeed. I love the one that I had on my DH for a while, where it like spawned like a ghost raptor that would attack enemies from time to time. That was nice. Is there a fate somewhere? The hell? "12 save me, scorching days, freezing night, the post will be the end of me. A Twilight pretzel, don't mind if I do. Now that's a refreshing goddamned pretzel, I feel reborn." And also, if you really want to get like invested in Final Fantasy, in Final Fantasy XIV, because this is the 2.0 version. There was a 1.0 version of Final Fantasy XIV that was an absolute mess. It was so bad that they actually had to scrap the game and rebuilt it from the ground up. That's how bad the 1.0 version was. They had a system. Look, listen to this. Okay, let's take 2 or 3 minutes to talk about that. They had a system in Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 where the more you played the game, the least XP you were getting, and you had to stop playing the game in order for this limitation to be lifted and start gaining XP again. On an MMO, you had to pay $15 a month to play. They wanted you to stop playing the game for a while and go do something else, and that was supposed to be to be set for in order for the casuals to be able to be at the same place as like the hardcore players. But there was nothing to do. You had like very little story quests. They were really spread apart. You had no end game. The only thing you had to do was pretty much fighting world bosses. And they wanted you to not play the game, pretty much. So that alone was pretty stupid. The crafting system was insanely convoluted. Like now, people think it's complicated. They never seen the actual, like the one from 1.0, which you could fail. First of all, you could fail like very easily and lose all of your mats and everything. And there was the crafting system was really prone to server lag, which would make you fail a lot of times. They had trouble with the graphics because, like, just as an example, one flower pot had as many polygons as a character model. So if you had like 2 water pots on a map and a character, it's like you had 3 characters. So PCs, like even high-end PCs, couldn't play that game properly. That was a mess. Anyway, you've returned, and with a deal fewer pretzels, I see. Tell me how fair are Sultan's sentries. Did they have anything to report? Anything at all? What? Nothing? Are you sure? Oh dear. Take this for your troubles, then. And stay a moment. There is more I would ask of you. Give me the monies. Thank you. So at some point, they fired the whole like director's team, and they hired Yoshipi, which is the actual game director, like to this day, and he pretty much did the same thing as well with Cataclysm. He did a calamity and just threw like a big meteor on the earth and scrapped everything. And the music is so good. And they made so, and if you want to like know more about that, I'd suggest looking up a channel named the Speaker Network. They have a series called the Fall and Rise of Final Fantasy XIV. I think it's a 6-part series, but it's so good, it's so well made. They explain everything that happened with the game from the start to the beginning of 2.0. Okay, no problem. And thank you for lurking, I appreciate it. And so yeah, they made a series called The Fall and Rise of Final Fantasy XIV. It's an amazing series. It explains everything that happened, and you can see like footage from the old game and how bad it was, and it makes you appreciate what the game is now, to be honest. Killiandra, I have just this moment. No, the time for concealment is past. The truth is, even before I had you deliver those pretzels, I was privy to some most unsettling news, which is the real reason I sent you to meet those Sultan Sworn. Papa Sean is in dire need of your assistance. A young noble woman from a very prestigious family has run away from home, and I have been ordered to see to her safe return. The Sultan's Sworn you met earlier are assisting with the search. Alas, it seems they have found no trace of her. I apologize for not being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her disappearance spread, I fear others with less honorable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. That cannot happen, Killiandra. It must not. I need you to help me find her. Alright. Praise the 12. I knew I could count on you. I've instructed the others to expand the search, but Talan is vast and there are only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lilira. I want you to go south and look for her in the vicinity of the Sultan Tree. Good luck. Alright. So in 14, sometimes you will encounter what they call instanced quests, where you are alone in an instance and you have to perform a certain amount of tasks. Sometimes it's fighting a boss, sometimes it's finding something specific, sometimes it's doing something, but you are on a timer that is usually way too long, like you have enough time to do everything. But some of these fights are hard. Like some of the later instance fights can be pretty hard, depending on the class you play, to be honest. I play a tank, so most fights are not hard because I'm so sturdy that I don't really have any issues. But if you play like a ranged DPS or a black mage where you can't move and you have to attack, and the enemy, you're alone with the boss and they spew like freaking AoEs everywhere, it can be pretty hard, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's why I love having like many classes on the same character, because if you do a quest and you see that you really can't do it on one class, you can change and try it on another one. So, and this is the what tells you that you're going to go into an instance. When you have like this kind of glow on a character, it means that you're going to go in an instance. Oh, Sultan Tree. You are about to enter an instance battle. Instance battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed in the active help window before answering the call of duty. So this here, I'm pointing with my finger, idiot. This here means that if you are above the level, it's going to sink you down to this level. It's not the level you need to be in order to do the quest, alright? Because some people think it is, and it can be confusing, but it just means that it's going to sink you down to level 8 if you are higher level than that, okay?
Oh, Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line, forgive my weakness. My failings have cost us dear. Show yourself.
As you command, O Lilira.
Well, look who's here.
Forgive my selfish desire to assure your welfare.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone. It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us. And I'd prefer not to join them, if it's all the same to you. Ah, you must be the one that Papa Shan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. You'll have to forgive her impetuousness. What she lacks in discipline, she makes up for in stubbornness. You should return with us. The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector in person.
Yeah, Lalafels are
Alas,
pretty cute.
The station master will have to wait. Dear Lilira, for my sake, please stay out of harm's way.
Alright, here we
As
go.
for you, dear friend, for Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way.
Are we in an ad, really? I'll wait. Here we go. We are back. Alright, so instance battles are pretty straightforward at first anyways. And some stranger. Oh my god. Really? That's really the name they chose? I'm laughing. You'll understand at some point why I'm laughing. He's using Flash. Flash isn't even an an ability we have anymore. They took it out of the game. It's not even there anymore. It's so funny. It used to be like your aggro ability on paladins, but it's not there anymore. Well, hello there. There you go. Just like butter. Like butter. I don't need your heals, handsome stranger. It's so funny. I didn't remember they called him the handsome stranger. Oh my god. There you go. Man, I used to have a hard time with this instance and I don't remember why, to be honest. Come on, give me shield lob, man. I don't even have a shield. When am I getting a shield? Think of it. Well, free trial is free up to level 70, so... Well, it's hard. We can't group up, but if you decide to play, I might resub so we can play together like properly. And you can play for free up to level 70. And if you like it, you continue on afterwards. But or you sub, you do what you want, but it's free, so super easy to get on Steam. And yeah, you can play up to level 70, do every single classes up to level 70 for free. That's like freaking 800 hours of content if you do every quest to 70, including crafting and gathering. That's like 800 hours of content. It's insane. For free, that's insane. And you can do the whole main story, 2 expansions for free. And if you like the game, then I think free trial used to be up to level 20, but if you ever paid for the game, if you've ever had any like if you bought the game or paid for it, you don't have access to the free trial on that account. You can download it from the website, make a new account, and play for free. And when you're ready, you go back to your account that you paid for. But if you paid at least once for the game, you don't have access to the free trial anymore on the account you paid for. That's why I had to actually make a new account and download it from the Final Fantasy XIV website instead of Steam, because I have it on Steam and I paid for it and everything, so I couldn't access the free trial from there. But yeah, let me know if you play. I'll come back and I'll help you. I can't give you stuff if you play for free, but I can bring you in dungeons and like farm dungeons with you and stuff like that.
Yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead,
It's really fun.
presaging an end.
So it's different from WoW. Sometimes it's a breath of fresh air. Sometimes just to change, the change of scenery.
Deliver us from this fate.
Scenery. And if you feel like healing, Conjurers / White Mage in 14 is really straightforward. It's a really, I'm not gonna say easy, but it's an easier healer because you have a lot of AoE heals. You have a lot of heals over time. You have a lot of burst healing. So, and I always play tank, so you're never gonna have to be with another tank. I'll always be the one there. So if they complain, believe me, it's the only game that I don't mind quote unquote being an asshole if people have something to say. I've endured so many stuff in this game that now I don't. If people are just being assholes towards sprouts, and we call them sprouts because if you if you look at my character, once we get back in the game, beside my name I have a little green sprout. That means that you are a new player, and in Final Fantasy XIV it is an unwritten rule that we are here. That sprouts need to be 1 protected, 2 helped, and 3 respected. If you do anything to a sprout, you're probably going to get to be told off. Is that the real term? Is that the right term? You're going to be yelled at, because like sprouts are new players, and in 14, new players are like sacred. You cannot be an asshole to a new player. It's not how we were taught to play the game, and I absolutely love that about the game.
Would you mind
And
telling me what that was?
you have incentive to help new players.
If I only knew.
You get more rewards and stuff if you group up with a new player. Like both of you have more rewards. The new player has more experience, and the higher level player gets money and stuff like that, and like rare mats for crafting and stuff like that.
The void sent? Yeah, but how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits.
Hey, handsome stranger.
Don't suppose the answer came to you in a dream? No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal. But of course, this changes everything. Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once. I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe? I shall return and tell them myself.
Oh, she's mad.
As you wish, your impetuousness.
It is a fun game, but yeah, let me know if you do. I'll make sure you have a smooth start.
I suspect we shall meet again before long. Until then, do try and stay awake.
Oh, for sure. There's so many things you could do. So many stuff that can be a part of like videos. There is a casino in 14. There is actually an actual casino where you can go and be there forever if you want, and just do mini games forever. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Where am I going? I'm probably going to dedicate like a whole episode of this playthrough to the casino. It's called the Gold Saucer. I'll probably dedicate a whole episode to the Gold Saucer because there are so many things. I suck at most of the mini games, but there is a mini game that is a bit like League of Legends, where you fight with your minions or your pets, if you will. It's a bit like battle pets in WoW, but it's a bit like League of Legends. You can play mahjong, like actual mahjong. You can play really, what the frick is the name of the card game What the hell is happening to my brain? What's the name of the card game? No, it's proper to Final Fantasy. Oh my god, what's the name of it? Maeve, help me. What's the name of the game? Triple Triad, there you go. You can play Triple Triad there. It's a game that was introduced in Final Fantasy VIII. There is a fashion contest. There's a fashion contest. There are like mini games where you have jumping puzzles. There's so many things. It's insane. Yeah. She has the gambler title in the game, and it's not for nothing. You do realize what would happen if a person of your noble stature were to be injured or worse. Why, Her Grace the Sultana would be beside herself with grief, and so would her subjects. I dare say they'd be weeping in the streets. But I have already given you cause to weep, Papa Shan, you and the people of Ul'dah. Please, you're not to say such things. We will find it. I swear to you. It's not my place to make demands, my lady, but I beg you, please stay out of harm's way. I apologize for causing you undue worry, Papa Shan. I shall refrain from traveling unescorted in the future. But yeah, so there is a lot of stuff like that. Crafting in itself is like a whole dimension of stuff. You have crafting abilities, you have to have crafting gear, you have crafting rotations. Sorry, I cannot thank you enough, Killiandra. I understand you fought bravely to protect Lady Lilyria from Voice and Fiend. From your gallant service, you deserve all the riches in the royal vault. Alas, a small token of my gratitude is the best I can offer. A sarcastic man with a strange contraption strapped to his shoulder. I see you met Tancred. Tancred! He's a scholar who spends his days investigating oddities in the aether, rather too fond of the sound of his own voice for my liking, but perfectly harmless. Well, anyway, Tancred, or aka Dad Cred. You'll understand why at some point. As for you, Killiandra, you're just the sort of adventurer we need around here. I pray you show the same kindness to the people of Thanalan as you did to us today. Thank you. I need to get a shield. Why don't I have a shield? Am I gonna get it on my level 10? On my level 10, class quests? Because why don't I have a shield? I'm a paladin, for God's sakes. Okay, so, I forgot to take my quest. Got to take my quest. But yeah, the other thing that is pretty cool in 14 is that whenever you do it, well, it's cool and not cool at the same time. Whenever you do a dungeon with anybody, whatever level you are, the game is going to sink you down to the level of the dungeon. But the thing is, it will also take away abilities that were not learned at that level. So if you have like a level 70, 80 character or 90 character that has like full of abilities, only the ones that you were supposed to have at the dungeon level are gonna be unlocked. So that can be a bit tricky when at first, but you get used to it at some point. Sisidoa needs a reliable adventurer to deliver a gift to the coffer and coffin. You're an adventurer, yes? If you're not otherwise occupied, I have a favor to ask. I have resolved to repay a debt of gratitude which I owe to the owner of the coffer and coffin. For this purpose, I purchased from the royal plantation a prodigiously plumped pumpkin, a particular popular piece of produce. Alas, I cannot part this place to procure and proffer the pumpkin. You see, the scheduled shipment from the Nanawa mines for which I wait is late. I could probably I would prevail upon you to pick up the pumpkins in my stead and see it safely to the coffin. Present this receipt of purchase to Gagari at the royal plantation, and she will yield it to you. I apologize for asking you to attend to this time-consuming task, but I truly appreciate your assistance. I could, I know. But I've always been scared of making guides, because sometimes you make guides, you say something that is not exactly like 100% true. Not that you're trying to pass like misinformation, but sometimes, I don't know, you say something that is like not that 100%, and people like get pissy, and I don't know. I have a lot of PTSD regarding other players. What's happening here? Come here. I have no aggro, I'm sorry. I have no freaking aggro right now. Because I'm a puny level 8 tank. Stop running. I'm trying to get the stop. That won't work. I'm hitting it. If you sleep it, I'm hitting it. That's not gonna work. Just attack it. There you go. Thank you. Oh my god, that was a shit show. I don't have aggro until level 10. That sucks. I don't have my tank stance until level 10. I hate it. If Isidora doesn't come calling soon, the spectacular specimen shall sadly be past its prime. Also, you're to deliver this decadent delight. I can say with confidence that any gourmand would be grateful for such a grand gift. Here's the pumpkin. I hope it meets with Roger's approval. Fresh produce is somewhat scarce in these parts. As such, we are always deluged with demands. You know the way to the coffin, right? It is beyond the bridge to the northwest. Look for a place where local labor lounge. I know where it is. I know where it is. And also, I don't know if you're familiar with Final Fantasy, but in Final Fantasy, you ride chocobos, which are like big chicken. Those are your mounts. At first, anyway. You get like a big yellow chicken, and it's your first mount. It's called Chocobo. You get it at level 20 in the story. So you're gonna have to run for a while. That's the only downside is that you're gonna have to it's exactly like that. It was spelled right. But nowadays you pretty much get a free chocobo at level 20 in the story. Before you had to farm like currencies for it, but now they pretty much give you the currency for it, so you don't have to farm it. For your first mount. Okay. The coffer and coffin. Hey, Roger. Drink for ye, lassie. You won't get better ale or spirits for year coin than at me place. Alright. What's that? We Sisidoa ask ye to bring this here to me? Haha, so even the foul-mouthed drunk knows the meaning of remorse. Reckon this is for the time I carried his drink-sodden arse back home. But hell's an honest-to-goods pumpkin from the royal plantation. I can't wait to see what the cooks will do with her. The lads here scoff down beastly amounts of meat and starting to tell on their health. It'll be good to get more vegetables in their bellies. Assuming I can get the stubborn bastard to try something new. Thanks for the help, lassie. Lever up. Thank you for coming by, Rainy. I appreciate it. Let's talk further about everything, including the income and everything. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Roger hears all sorts of information in his line of work, some of which may be useful to you. Word is, Blackbrush Station is sorely undermanned. The stone torches there can't get a moment's peace. Bloke by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster their numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting a few extra gil in your pocket, you could do a lot worse. Gear. Thank you. Oh yeah, let me just fix this real quick. Not here. System. No. It's player. It's character configuration. Item settings. Inventory interface. Open all. Expanded. Alright. Apply. There you go. That's what I wanted. There you go. Alright. Looking for work, perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. We Stone Torches are sellsword hired by Imagina & Sons Mineral Concern to protect its interest. Our primary duty here is to keep the tracks clear and and it is for the purpose that we require aid. I should point out, however, that it can be messy work and liable to get messier still if you're ill-prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. I'll not have it on my conscience that I sent an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to it that your arm and armor are in order. When you are ready, present yourself to me again. Equip your head, body, hands, and legs and feet with gear of item level 5 or above before returning to speak with Warren. Funnily enough, it's pretty easy to access those nowadays. He said, what is it? Head, body, hands, and legs and feet. So the whole left side. So I need gloves, pants, and a helmet. Alright. Let's see if I can buy something from the vendors, because I cannot buy something from the auction house. Let's see. How much gil do I have? 618. That's not bad. Alright. Jeweler, no. Battlecraft armor. Hello. Disciple of War. 1 to 9. Bronze coif. Whoa. Get out with your tutorials. Okay. Disciple of War. Okay, so bronze coif is 264. Okay. Is that a tank helmet? Yeah, that's a tank helmet. This is on 126. And was it legs that I needed? I'm gonna look like shit. Yes, legs. Alright. Purchase. Okay. So, this here. I'm gonna purchase that. That's 196. I'm gonna purchase that. And I don't have enough money. Great. And I'm gonna look like crap. There you go. Thank God for this. Okay, I need item level 5. That should be fine, right? He said level 5, so the pants should be fine. I'm gonna sell whatever I have though. I have a couple of coin. $168. There you go. Okay. Yeah, does anybody have a shield? I always forget that's not how you run. Independent arms mender, independent arms merchant. Yo, do you sell shields? Square shield or a bronze houblon is 420. Blaze it! Come on. How much money did I make? 11. Oh my god, really? Can I sell my my potions? I'm so not used to being this poor, it's insane. Okay. Oh my god, can I sell my old gear or did I already did it? Did I already sell it? No, I can sell my old crap. Can I? Like I can sell my old sword. It's gonna sell for 1 gil, are you serious? Oh my god. I'm not gonna sell my clothes. Alright, fuck it. Fuck it. I won't get a shield for now. I'm so not used to being this poor, it's insane. I've never been rich in 14, but I've never been this poor. Like, it's really insane. Am I wearing shorts? I'm wearing shorts, alright. Stop it. Alright, let's go. I forgot to attune. I forgot to attune to the aetherite. Legendary 1, really? What's with the hunting log? Where are we at in here? Earth Sprites, Spriggan, Kickern, and Antling Soldiers. Alright. Danielle Celeste. You have a nice sword, Danielle. Grunbeld Sarash. Okay, now I need to attune to this so I don't have to run back here. So, are you ready for inspection? Good. Everything appears in order. Yet, know that naught is guaranteed in this world. Fate is a fickle mistress after all. At any rate, capable adventurers like you are few and far between, and I would not have you throw your life away. I've had to bury too many comrades who brushed aside cracks in their hauberk and dint in their helms. No matter what you face, do not disregard the importance of gear. Give me the money, I want a shield. Are you gonna give me a shield? No, you're gonna give me a sword. Okay. Warren has work for an adventurer willing to exterminate the goblins attacking ore wagons. Let's get to it then, shall we? Ore wagons pass through this station every day, but not without incident. Wagons coming and going from the dispatch yard to the south must pass through a tunnel by Fesca's watch. A tunnel at which some genius saw fit to put an ore storehouse, creating ideal conditions for a goblin nest. So now the Orlevan beasts have taken up residence in the tunnel we dug, and we're practically delivering meals to their doorsteps. But no more. Inside the tunnel in question you will find a narrow fissure where the goblins hide. Use the silver ore cluster to lure out the creatures, then slay them. Okay. Okay, thank you. Another one, or are we done? That's it. That is it. Is me Boston, sir? Okay. Sure. Why not? At Magic's Horizon. I don't have a title. I'll probably get heart of the party at some point. Well done. It shan't be easy work to keep the tunnel free of goblins, but our wagon should be able to go unmolested for a time. Disruption to ore shipments threatens not only the interests of Amagina and Sun Mineral concerns, but of Ul'dah herself. One might liken these train tracks to veins that bear our nation's lifeblood. If only we had more women like you to lend a hand. Thank you. Gladiator. Woo! I got my tank stance, and I got my shield bash, but I don't have a shield. I do not have a shield yet. Oh shit, wait. HUD layout. Yeah. Old gauge. Old gauge. That's way too big and way too inside the screen. What the hell? Bring this here. Bring this here, buckaroo. Thank you. Okay. Well, no, it's not good. Wait, I didn't put it here usually. What are you doing, bro? There you go. That's where it belongs. There it is. Okay. So, are you gonna give me... Are you gonna get... Did I already have a wait. Okay, no. Okay, I was like, what? Ul'dah's most wanted. Okay, so I'm gonna have... Oh, well, I forgot to read that. I'm gonna have a... Wait, what the hell is happening? I'm gonna have a class quest to do. Let's see what it is. I'm probably gonna end soon, but let's see what the quest is first. I finally have some aggro. I felt so bad for the cast earlier. Like they were running away and trying to survive, and I was like, dude, I can't help you. There's nothing I can do. I don't have aggro, and I'm pretty sure it was like, freaking taunt it, you're a tank. I was like, I can't. I don't have any freaking taunts. I can't. All I can do is like hit it until it dies, but I can't. I don't even have provoke yet, but now at least I have a bit more aggro on me. At least there's that, but dang it. Oh, finally I get your shield. First sword Mila requires your immediate assistance with a dangerous matter. You look well, Killiandra. I hope you are ready for your next task because I require your immediate assistance. There have been several violent murders recently, the victim of which were all Hyuran men. Based on the multiple spear wounds found upon the bodies of the deceased, we believe that Lancers are responsible for the crimes. Not only are these murders a blight upon our city, I fear it is only a matter of time before one of our own is targeted. I have just received reports of foreign Lancers skulking about in Stone Throw. Considering the circumstances, I find it likely that these are our culprits. We cannot abide any more murders. Go to Stone Throw outside the gates of Nald and speak with any you find in the area. With luck, we might find these Lancers before they strike again. Alright, alright, alright. So I think it's a good place to stop for tonight. It's been a nice stream. It was a good change of pace. That was fun to go back to Eorzea a bit. If you want me to continue this on stream, let me know. If you'd rather me do that on like videos, let me know. I don't mind streaming 14 for a bit. Of course, WoW is going to prioritize, so whenever WoW has stuff, we're gonna go back to it. But I don't mind streaming 14, like on the side here and there. It's always a pleasure to go back to 14, and yeah. So I hope it was a fun stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the little surprise we had tonight with this game. It's really weird to like stream Final Fantasy XIV with a huge Horde logo in the background and the map of Azeroth there, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Why not? And yeah, so let me know if you want me to do that, to continue this on stream, or to do it in videos. Either way, I don't mind, but I'm really happy that to do that. It feels good. It was nice to come back to Eorzea for a bit. So this was my last stream for the week. I'll be back next Monday, as always, at 6 p.m. EST. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and get some rest, have some fun, be careful, and I will see you guys next time. So I have been Lemmy. You have been amazing as always, and may you ever walk in the light of the crystal. Cheers.